How did a team that was just months away from a Super Bowl victory suddenly find themselves scrambling for help from free agents who couldn't even stick with their previous teams? The San Francisco 49ers are in crisis mode, and the desperation is starting to show. This is a franchise that came within a whisker of Super Bowl glory, a team that should be fine-tuning championship details, not frantically searching through the free agent bargain bin for receivers who might keep their season from imploding before it even begins. The situation has become so dire that veteran receiver Gabe Davis is publicly campaigning for a chance to join the 49ers, praising Kyle Shanahan's offensive genius and expressing his desire to play alongside great players. While Davis's enthusiasm is admirable, the fact that San Francisco is even considering a player who was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars after just one disappointing season tells you everything you need to know about their current predicament. This isn't the calculated roster management of a championship contender. This is the panicked maneuvering of a team that suddenly realizes their depth chart has more holes than Swiss cheese. The 49ers receiver room, once considered one of the league's strengths, has been decimated by injuries, trades, and the specter of additional departures that could leave them virtually weaponless. The perfect storm of catastrophic timing. Let's examine how quickly things have unraveled for San Francisco's receiving core. Brandon Aiyuk, their top target, is sidelined with injury concerns. Ricky Pearsall, their first-round draft pick, who was supposed to provide immediate depth, is also dealing with injury issues. Deebo Samuel, who was once the heartbeat of their offense, has been traded away, leaving a massive void in both production and leadership. But wait, it gets worse. There are growing rumors that Jauan Jennings, one of their few remaining healthy receivers, is seeking a trade. If these whispers turn into reality, the 49ers could find themselves with virtually no proven receiving options heading into training camp. That's not depth chart management, that's organizational negligence. The timing couldn't be more brutal. Training camps are underway, the regular season is rapidly approaching, and the 49ers are essentially auditioning free agents who were unwanted by other teams. While their competitors are fine-tuning their championship aspirations, San Francisco is scrambling to field a competent receiving core. This cascade of issues didn't happen overnight. The writing was on the wall when they traded Samuel, a move that many viewed as premature given their championship window. Now, with injuries piling up and potential departures looming, that decision looks increasingly short-sighted. Davis's desperate campaign and what it reveals Gabe Davis's public lobbying for a 49ers opportunity is both refreshing and concerning. On one hand, it's nice to see a player who recognizes talent and wants to be part of something special. His comments about Shanahan being the man and wanting to be around great players demonstrate the kind of winning mentality that championship teams need. But let's be honest about what we're dealing with here. Davis is a player who couldn't make it work with the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that was so desperate for receiver help that they were willing to give almost anyone a chance. If you can't succeed in Jacksonville's system, what does that say about your ability to contribute to a championship-caliber team? Davis's career trajectory tells a story of unrealized potential. He showed flashes of brilliance with the Buffalo Bills, particularly in playoff situations, but never developed into the consistent threat that teams need from their top receivers. His stint with the Jaguars was supposed to be his chance to prove he could be a primary option, but instead it reinforced questions about his reliability and route-running precision. Still, Davis's enthusiasm for joining the 49ers isn't entirely misplaced. Kyle Shanahan has a proven track record of maximizing receiver talent, finding ways to utilize players' strengths while minimizing their weaknesses. If anyone can resurrect Davis's career and turn him into a productive contributor, it's Shanahan. The Shanahan factor. Miracle worker or overrated? Kyle Shanahan's reputation as an offensive mastermind is well-deserved, but even he has limitations. He's worked magic with receivers throughout his career, turning journeymen into productive contributors and maximizing the potential of elite talents. His system is designed to create favorable matchups and put receivers in positions where they can succeed. However, Shanahan's offense requires precision, intelligence, and the ability to execute complex route combinations. It's not a system where you can simply rely on raw athletic ability. You need to understand concepts, make quick decisions, and execute with surgical precision. The question becomes, does Gabe Davis possess these qualities? Davis's biggest strength has always been his ability to make big plays in crucial moments. He's shown up in playoff games, demonstrating the kind of clutch gene that championship teams need, but his consistency has been questionable, and consistency is what Shanahan's system demands above all else. The 49ers' offensive system is built around creating mismatches and exploiting defensive weaknesses through precise timing and execution. If Davis can buy into this approach and commit to the details, he could find new life in San Francisco. But if he's looking for a system that will cater to his strengths while hiding his weaknesses, he might be disappointed. The broader implications for championship hopes the fact that the 49ers are even considering Davis reveals the precarious position they've put themselves in. Championship teams are supposed to have depth, redundancy, and multiple options at every position. Instead, San Francisco finds itself potentially dependent on a player who was released by one of the league's most talent-hungry teams. This situation highlights the delicate balance of championship window management. The 49ers have a core group of elite players who are still in their prime, but they've made a series of decisions that have left them vulnerable at crucial positions. The Samuel trade, while potentially necessary for salary cap reasons, has created a domino effect that threatens their entire offensive structure. The injury concerns with Aiyuk and Pearsall compound these problems exponentially. Even if both players return to full health, the 49ers will be operating with minimal depth and virtually no margin for error. In a league where injuries are inevitable, this level of vulnerability is simply unacceptable for a championship contender. The desperation timeline. What makes this situation even more concerning is the timeline. Training camps are underway, and the 49ers are still trying to piece together their receiving core, while other teams are working on chemistry and fine-tuning their systems. San Francisco is essentially starting from scratch with players who may not even make their final roster. This puts enormous pressure on whoever they do sign. There's no luxury of a gradual integration process. Players like Davis would need to learn the system, build chemistry with their quarterback, and contribute immediately. That's a tall order for any player, let alone one who struggled to find consistency in his previous opportunity. The coaching staff will need to work overtime to get any new additions up to speed, taking valuable time and attention away from developing their existing players and refining their overall game plan. It's the kind of situation that can derail a season before it even begins. The reality check, perhaps the most sobering aspect of this entire situation, is what it says about the 49ers' current state. This is a team that was supposed to be entering the season as a championship favorite. Yet they're reduced to hoping that cast-offs from other teams can salvage their receiving core. Davis's campaigning for a 49ers opportunity is admirable, but it's also a reminder of how quickly things can change in the NFL. One day you're a Super Bowl contender, the next you're hoping that available free agents can fill critical holes in your roster. The 49ers still have elite talent at key positions, and Kyle Shanahan remains one of the league's premier offensive minds. But championship teams are built on depth preparation and the ability to overcome adversity. Right now, San Francisco is failing on all three counts. The verdict on desperation, the Gabe Davis situation, perfectly encapsulates the 49ers' current predicament. They're a talented team that has made a series of decisions that have left them vulnerable at crucial moments. While Davis might provide some short-term relief, he's not the kind of player who can single-handedly solve their receiver problems. The real question is whether the 49ers can overcome their current roster deficiencies and still compete for a championship. They have the coaching staff, the quarterback, and the offensive system to maximize whatever talent they assemble. But they're operating with a margin for error that has shrunk to virtually nothing. Davis's public campaign to join the 49ers is a fascinating subplot to what promises to be a challenging season for San Francisco. Whether he can actually contribute to their championship aspirations remains to be seen, but his enthusiasm and willingness to embrace the challenge deserve recognition. The 49ers receiver situation has me genuinely concerned about their championship chances, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on whether signing players like Gabe Davis is smart depth building or just desperate roster filling. Do you think Shanahan can work his magic with whoever they bring in, or are they setting themselves up for disappointment? Jump into the comments and let me know if you think this is just a temporary setback or a sign of bigger problems in San Francisco. And if you're as fascinated by this organizational scrambling as I am, hit that like button, and let's dive deeper into how championship windows can close faster than anyone expects.